This is probably the most exciting travel day we've had in, well, ever. We started the day with a peaceful sunrise run in Santiago de Compostela and ended it with a frantic but very slow drive through the English countryside. We experienced delay after delay, but we still made it to our final destination, the Wasdale Head Inn, even if it was too dark to see the amazing mountains and very deep lake that surrounded us.
We woke up early in Santiago the day after finishing the Camino Inglés so that Molly and Pablo could go for a run around town. Running in the interesting places that we visit is one of their favorite things. I set this one out because the travel day would be a really valuable healing day for the blisters on my toes. We had a 12 noon flight from Santiago to London, so we didn't have to rush too much this morning. While they ran, I took one more walk around town to drink in the sights of my favorite place until I can return next year. Early morning is our favorite time to run in cities because the streets are pretty empty, the cafe chairs aren't out yet, and we still have time for a shower after our run before we have to check out of the hotel. Also, we just enjoy the day more when we know that our run is already done and all we have to do for the rest of the day is get to our hotel. Of course, today, that all was a lot of traveling, but we didn't properly appreciate that yet. We had a delicious breakfast at La Morena Cafe by our hotel, grabbed our packs, and headed to the airport. We got lucky and ran into our Italian housemates from Hospital de Bruma while waiting for a cab. And just like that, we were off to England. Here's a little background on why we were flying there, to hike the Coast to Coast Trail.
This path was mapped by Alfred Wainwright in 1973, and it's so associated with him that it's often called Wainwright's Coast to Coast. This is still an unmarked trail. It was decided in 2022 that this is going to become a national trail in the UK, and it will be fully signposted by the year 2025. But for right now, we expect some signposting, but we do know that navigation can be a little bit of a challenge on this trail. So it starts on the Irish Sea in a town called St. Bees, and in 15 days we will walk to the east coast of England on the North Sea to a town called Robins Hood Bay. It's about 192 miles in total distance. It's going to take us 2 weeks. We're going to walk through 3 national parks, which are the Lake District, the Yorkshire Dales, and the North York Moors. If it hasn't happened already, the Coast to Coast path is rapidly becoming the most popular hiking trail in England.
We were supposed to arrive in London at 1:05 p.m. on a Saturday and to start our Coast to Coast walk on a Monday morning. The drive up to St. Bees didn't look that bad, so I looked around at what we could do that Sunday. That was when I noticed that St. Bees was near Scafell Pike, the tallest mountain in England. Before I had a chance to reconsider, I found a way to wedge in the hike to the top of Scafell Pike before we started the Coast to Coast. Here's how the math told me that this was a good plan. We'd arrive at Heathrow at 1:05 p.m., allow an hour and a half to handle immigration, get our bags, and get the rental car, 6 hours to drive to the hotel at Wasdale Head near Scafell Pike, and that would get us there at about 8:30 p.m., which left a little leeway for traffic. It wouldn't get dark until about 10, so this felt pretty doable. Ha! You would think this was our first trip.
Our reserved rental car is not available yet, so waiting at the rental car area. Our second delay, the plane was an hour and a half late, and now there's no rental cars. On on our way to Scafell Pike. Now that we're in England, we're driving on the other side. We got into Cumbria and almost immediately started seeing more mountainous territory.
This was one of those drives that's really boring when you're on the interstate, but once you get off it, it is absolutely beautiful. But it was starting to get dark by the time we got off the main motorway, and it required our absolute full attention on these roads. We didn't take any video of it, but we proceeded to drive for 2 hours in the dark on a beat-up one-lane road that was barely wide enough for our car and filled with sheep. This is the kind of thing that we would have probably enjoyed in the daylight, but it made us nervous at night. This is one of the better sections of that drive that we repeated in reverse the next day. These roads are the only way to get to Wasdale Head, and it was completely worth it. As we were there on a beautiful weekend, this road was busy at all hours.
Just keep going a little. I mean, we're not going to run over him, but. It's my Patronus just trying to comfort us.
Oh yes, trying to guide us.
Thank you, Patronus, for protecting us here.
Your Patronus is guiding us.
Could you get out of the way?
Well, I have to guide you. And I have to slow you down. Do you need the cord because it's really in the way?
No. Well, yeah, I need the cord because it's navigating us.
Oh, right.
Right, little rabbit, move. There's plenty of side for you.
He's guiding you. It's your Patronus. Patronus is guiding you.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. What's your plan, buddy?
His plan is to guide us all the way to
Because that's a
Wasdale.
long way to the Wasdale Head Inn. You got another 8 miles to go.
He's guiding us, look. That is crazy.
It's not like he hasn't had opportunities.
No, he's just guiding you. He's your Patronus.
He keeps almost going.
I
Like, oh, wait, no. Not yet.
Okay, it's almost.
Go up and-
Alright, go. Alright, see you, bud. Thanks for a little comic relief.
Molly, you need a tissue?
It is hard to express how happy I was to see this envelope on the door of the hotel when we got there, because this is the type of place that you don't have anything written for your reservation. I just called this place, made the reservation by phone, and that was it. So I had the worry in the back of my mind that we were going to do this entire drive, and when we got there, we wouldn't have a room. We spent a lot of effort to get here, but this place was worth it. The 200-year-old Wasdale Head Inn claims to be the birthplace of British climbing. And if it really is, you can see why. This valley hosts England's tallest peak and its deepest lake. Imagine what it would take to build a hotel here 200 years ago. While the night before was definitely one of those unfortunate situations in which adventurers sometimes find themselves. You know, the ones where you're asking yourself, what was I thinking? This place was worth it 10 times over. What an incredible spot. This 1926 advertisement for the hotel calls the area the Switzerland of the British Isles and the Mecca of the climber and mountaineer. We agree. I had no idea that an area like this existed in England, but we were thrilled that we'd get to spend the next 5 days hiking through it.
This is our room at the Wasdale Head Inn at Wasdale Head in England. The room itself isn't particularly fancy. Here's our view out our window. There's a river down there. This is kind of the back area of the lodge. They have picnic tables. Pike car. Here's our rental car. What you got? Treasure. Give Molly something to do in the car later. Save that lovely activity for later. Show me what you got. Look at me. I think we're fine here. We're fine there. Okay. Oh yeah, we'll move over here.
This was a pretty wild day. From before sunrise to long after sunset, we were up and moving. At dawn, we were running quietly through a historic town center, and at dusk we were on some very crazy roads through the middle of a sheep pasture getting our first glimpses of the English sheep. Despite the struggle to get there, the Wasdale Head Inn was worth it. I'm convinced they have the best location in all of Britain, nestled in a valley of green and sheep-covered mountains, and next to a deep blue lake. We can't wait to hike up Scafell Pike tomorrow. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.